All right, let's see.
You don't know that.
I already unplugged it before.
It's going solid.
Have you?
Yeah, I already unplugged it.
I
We
got
plugged
like
it back in.
2.5 hour charge. All right, now I push the button. Let's see. Perfect. We're live now.
Oh, there we go.
Great. Okay. Well,
Restart this all over again.
restart it all over. That's fine. At least we're up and going now. Welcome everyone to Unicorn Chef West Coast. I'm your host, Itz.Ghriz with
Robert. It's a pleasure.
We are waiting on Ben right now, getting a couple of things put in. Let me send out this beautiful link real quick. Thank you for the lighting, Goldie. There we go. We are now.
Are you gonna cook with hopes and dreams?
Yes.
What the fuck? Do I have to go get the stove?
We got someone already going off to get that.
Do you have a stove?
Yeah.
Hopes and dreams. Hopes and dreams. All right, we are now live. That's the glory of life.
No, I made the request, and the answer was given. It was.
All right, we're going live now. Look at that with the lighting too. We look super official right now in this shot.
Illuminated,
Yes, that I can tell.
but not planned.
Oh yeah. So what are we going to be cooking up for tonight?
So we're making a chicken fried rice with zucchini, which you added into the recipe, which I find that's going to be kind of sweet and crunchy, kind of give it, at least a different note, make it more fresh on top of the green onions and everything like that. So, as you can see, you should see on the thing what the ingredients will be, and then we're going to go break it down.
Yes.
So, as it states, we're going to have chicken enough for, we're going to have 3 people eating, about 4 eggs to
3 people. I mean, one normal sized person and 2 fluffy ones.
I had a snack beforehand to make sure I could eat like a normal person. So we're going to make some rice. I'll make pre-already made rice beforehand, and then we're going to make rice because it takes about an hour. And we only got that much time frame to actually for this live stream.
I mean, we can go for 3 hours if you guys want.
No. We all have lives, and I think everyone wants to sit here for 3 hours watching us cook. And then we're going to have carrots, zucchini, like you said. We're going to have some ginger to give it a little, zest, garlic, and some shallots.
That, and then I'm going to make an attempt at something. But those fancy little eggs that you set on the rice, cut open, and it just pours out.
So you're gonna make an omelet.
I guess that's what you can call it.
Well, it's a type of omelet.
Yeah, but I brought 2 extra eggs just to try that out, and if it works out, you and Ben are gonna get to enjoy trying my first little omelet style egg, I guess you can say.
Nice and runny, like a French omelet. Lovely, tastes great. Never actually had one of those. But so as we're waiting for our camp stove to come in,
yes,
we're just gonna talk a little bit about tech right now. So I was listening to some podcasts recently, and I was listening to the RSP32 chip issue. And, first came out to that they stated that there's a back door to it, that they left, debugging tools on it. And, for me, I have several devices in my house that have, that chip. It's, Wi-Fi and we call Bluetooth. Well, one thing, the Flipper Zero has it.
yes.
And so, doing the first initial, on a debugging like that means that I can put a program onto the chip itself. And even if I, happen to have it, I can wipe it, reset it, and it's still going to be on the chip because it's just the software we're wiping. We're not wiping the, manufacturing facility of the chip itself. And to me, that was kind of scary and understanding, hearing that for the first time. Kind of, what this thing was, that was backdoor was not really feasible because you have to have hands-on to the device. You can't remote into it. It takes more ability to get to that kind of step. Yeah. Now, if I have hands-on to something, you already have more risk than you have to have,
Physical access is root access.
Yeah. And so it should be scary enough as that is. Now, the scare monitoring behind that was what kind of made me have that in my forefront of my thought, is that, so many devices have it and it's so cheap and readily available, and manufacturers all buy kind of, it's like $2 for put into your software, and you can make anything kind of, I can make a coffee maker, have Wi-Fi access and just kind of, program it that way. You can can make modular, units and do like that stuff
That
too.
or I don't know what they run off of, but the Samsung smart washers that they have with the Wi-Fi start, that you're able to have the app on your phone. I'm not sure if it's the same chip or what.
Well, it may be the same family, but it's most time they're a little bit bigger. That's why, like I said, stuff like that. Now, scaremongering, it's great to research everything and figure out, dig deep and find stuff that can be, jeopardizing. But the scaremongering behind it, saying it's a back door and millions of devices are going to be at risk, is kind of what brought this to the forefront. But it's not that bad, as like I said, you have to have hands-on access to it.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about that?
Honestly, man, it's above my pay grade. I am familiar with most of the microcontrollers and have multiple devices that use a couple of different ones in a couple of different families. But I haven't got to really dive in too much on the exploits yet. I've been super busy with work, and so it's something that's still nice and fresh to me. But it is something that would be really interesting to really dive into it and learn about it and see if there is different attack vectors.
And again, it's pretty good research. It was done by a Spanish company. Again, I'll be honest, I don't speak or read Spanish very well, so it might take time to translate the original, research on that one to see more information. I'm just getting a limited information from other avenues of approach. Yeah. But what I can gather, that was the root cause and everything right there. Big issue.
Yeah.
So how about you? Have any security things that you have kind of come up to mind or anything that you came across?
That is a good question.
First of all, turn off that audio. It's not coming through nice.
No?
Second of all, change to this mic.
Okay. Plug that in. Let me switch that over. Oops. Be here.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, now we switch to a different mic. Let me see. Yeah, that one's on.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Let me do an audio check on the stream real quick.
Go ahead. Give us a second, guys. We're gonna do an audio check and make sure we're good to go.
Not spaz out.
Don't do a feedback. You want to make sure we don't do a feedback loop in here?
Sounds better.
Yeah.
Turn off the music.
Thank you.
What? No, Hackers 1995.
That's perfectly fine. We don't need to have music. We're just conversating and talking about stuff.
Low background music, man. Stressing me out with all this talking.
Talking. Well, it's a conversation that keeps everyone going.
Yes. Now, I also forgot too. I do need to grab the utensils out of my car.
Go ahead.
As I'm doing that, would you like to explain to the audience how you got into tech and some of what you do? Why I walk off camera for one moment to do so?
Happily.
Perfect. Take it away, Robert.
All right. So I joined the military for 4 years. I did law enforcement. Not my favorite thing to do, to be honest. I was more interested in tech. High school, I like breaking things apart, taking stuff, and figuring out the key components of everything. We all like breaking things apart and figuring out what actually makes it run and makes it work. Military was where I can, get myself lined up for, paying for college and everything like that. Spent a few years doing physical security, paying for school and going that way. Broke into my first job was threaded fastener. They make manufacturing facility for bolts and screws. Everyone needs IT. I did their infrastructure there. I ran cables, put up credit card devices and stuff like that, cameras. Moved on over to General Electric for their IT. Ran some projects for them. Did their first, line defense for ticket system like that too. Put up Net Defender. Put up in a Wi-Fi antenna. That was really kind of a Wi-Fi dish. That's what it was. So we're over in Florida, and we have storms that come in, and we had to have a communication line from the main facility to a warehouse. Wonderful instance of a project. We had to be able to talk to the warehouse, but we had big fork trucks that would run over the cables and snap them all the time. So we put a solder dish from one side to the other talking, and we had to make sure we had to talk to the FAA, making sure that the signal wasn't going to go against them, making sure everything like that. It was a secure tunnel and stuff like that. It was very interesting. And then from there, I went to Sativa. They make medical membrane, and I was IT for them for about 6 months. Moved over to California. My wife's military, so I'm here just trying to get myself into the area. Kind of got into a club after B-sides. So we're going to go through the stuff. I appreciate Chris coming in and making sure we got the tools on hand. We're going to check the devices, make sure everything is running accurate and everything be heard. We do appreciate your time and energy for this. You know, it's a rough start, but hopefully next time we get the machine oiled and a little bit more, understanding for this. Are we clear?
Yeah, just making sure everything's in check.
All right.
I already know what I'm going to do with my paycheck.
What are you going to do?
Buy some more streaming equipment.
It's a lesson
right
learned.
Now, the streaming setup, it's a little interesting. So we have these fancy photography lights that are put up right now, and then running off of a Logitech C270 webcam, and then everything is connected to a medical tablet actually that's running it. And then we have the external microphone, but definitely noted for next time. Get a couple of pieces for the stream equipment to hopefully spruce up the quality a little bit more, and get some more cooking utensils. Maybe I'll get a nice chef hat. I'll put on my hat. I'll put Grizz Ramsay on there,
and maybe an apron.
Yeah, an apron. No, not even the apron. I'm gonna go full Ratatouille with my setup.
A nice gown. So why don't you tell us about your introduction to the tech side of everything?
I don't know. Mine's pretty boring.
Hey.
So I've been around tech for some time. My uncle has been working in it, and so that's kind of what initially drew some interest.
What did he do?
He is a systems administrator, and then prior he was working with law enforcement too, and he worked with like the actual dispatching system for the police department. But he's been doing tech for some time, and then eventually once I was like in school and stuff, there's like a couple of computer classes I was able to do here and there. But what actually started like my big blossoming into like really like diving in was probably when I set up my first PC. So my first gaming PC, I had a AMD like Ryzen 5 processor, I think it was, and then an NVIDIA 750 Ti, some real power underneath that bad boy, with 8 gigs of RAM and stuff. But it was like, it was my first PC build. And then after that, high school came around, and so like when even still now, like, you guys can't see off camera, but I have my car parked to the side. Cars are like a super huge part of my life, but I was really into cars, and I was in like kind of this, not really a private school, but like it was like a study from home type, deal. And so when I was in my junior year, my friend was like, "Oh, you want to come to wrestling practice?" I ended up liking wrestling, and so I switched over to a public school. And at that public school, when it was time for my senior year, I was like, "Oh yeah, like I'm gonna do automotive." I was super pumped to be in an automotive class. And one of my friends, she was like, "Oh hey, I know you like computers and stuff. You should come check out our cybersecurity class that we have." And I was like, "Oh, like, what's that? Like, I've never heard of cybersecurity." And she was like, "Oh, like we do like hacking and stuff like that." And me being the sleazy guy I was like, "Oh, I'm a pro at hacking, bro. Like, I'm a beast at this. Like, you ever heard of a DOS? Yeah, that's me." And I ended up getting into this class, and my teacher, she's pretty publicly known. Her name's Miss Donna Woods. And so that was my teacher for cybersecurity. I ended up getting into this class. I absolutely loved it. I was like infatuated with doing this class, and and then eventually I got into doing the competition. So I was in the Cyber Patriot 10 competition.
Wow!
And that was like really my big break. I was probably one of the top performers, if not among the best in the class. and like I really locked in. And at the end of the school year, that's when I did my first certification. And so I took the CompTIA ITF, IT fundamentals. That's what it was called at the time. And it was when it was first out, and I was among like the first like 50 people to receive that certification. And like, you know, doing it in high school too was like big kudos, and that's like really what it was intended for. And then yeah, after I finished up high school, you know, a couple of schools were like, hey, we'll offer you a full ride scholarship to come to our school and stuff like that and pay for everything. And I'm like, that's great. I'm going to go do automotive. And so I went to a community college that's out in LA, and was doing their automotive program down there. And after a couple of years of doing automotive, I was sitting there and I was like, you know what? We'll do cyber again. And so I wanted to get back into computers and doing cyber. And so I re-enrolled at San Diego State University with their boot camp that they had. And I did it the first time and wasn't able to continue on just because finances. And then I did it a second time, still wasn't able to continue on from finances. And like, the boot camps are super, super cool. But also too, like, one of my biggest bones with them is they're like, hey, like, beginners can do this. And it's too accelerated to keep up as a beginner. It's like a great refresher, or like if you're like, you know, maybe intermediate and stuff, because it would be easier. But it's just the amount of time, you know, being able to grasp these concepts, it's like super rough.
So it's like throwing a skate against the wall and taking a stick.
And so I ended up taking a little break from school, still, you know, working on projects and stuff like that. And then at the end of that year, I think it was, so like, mind you, I used to work for a local school district. And so like, you know, I was just doing maintenance and stuff. I was able to sit there and just, you know, listen to music. And basically I was sitting there listening to music one day, and then I was like, oh, let's listen to a podcast. And that's when I found out about Darknet Diaries.
Oh, my God,
yeah, because it was specifically one of the YouTubers that I watched was advertising them. This is when they're on like maybe like episode 20, if that. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, oh, like, you know, it popped up on my thing, and I was like, sure, like, you know, let's watch or listen to it. And I ended up falling in love with that damn podcast. And that's how I learned about quite a bit of different things and different techniques with hacking. That's where I learned about DEFCON, actually. And I remember the first time I joined the DEFCON Discord, I was shitting bricks, dude. I was like, bro, I'm going to hop in. I'm going to get fucking tapped, bro. And so I'm like shitting bricks, and I ended up getting in. And I was like, oh, this place is pretty cool. And so it kind of led me down, you know, that path. And, you know, I got back into school, and 2022, I think it was 2022 was my first year that I went to DEFCON. It was DEFCON 30. And I had an absolute blast out there. And the next thing you know, one thing led to another. I'm getting invited out to, you know, the local meetups out here. And from there, it's just been, you know, a whole rabbit hole. And, you know, I got back into classes. I found a school that was working out. Mm-hmm. And so hopefully, you know, this year or early next year, I'll be able to finish up my bachelor's in cyber. It did take like a good 2 years before I was like, yo, like, this is...
Listen, time doesn't matter. It just takes you steps to go forward. It is not giving up. We all can take a step back and then move forward. Look, from the time I went to the military to the time right now, and I got my master's degree, it took me from 07 to 25. Do you understand that I had to pay for everything and make sure I put sweat, blood, and tears? There is no time on that. You can learn anywhere, anytime you want, and it's the benefit of life. We'll make mistakes. We find things we find interesting. We can pick up something and put it down and go for another thing. You found vehicles be fascinating. Do you not know that we have smart vehicles now? Yes. That your knowledge incorporates itself within mechanics and technology now, that you can understand how a combustion engine may work and how you can stop it if you put a certain code into it now. Mm-hmm. So those little things, I don't know it enough.
Yeah.
So
I know you weren't there, but a couple meetups ago, actually, I gave a presentation on CAN bus hacking down at the meetup. And so I was going through some of that. It was car modding and car hacking in general. And I need to finish up my device, but I have an Arduino Uno with an inland CAN bus shield on there. And it's going to be used for, like, you're able to do diagnostics. You're able to do car hacking. You're able to run
Oh.
CAN bus injection, read like memory values from the ECU and stuff. And so like,
So if I can plug it into my device or my vehicle and say, hey, this is the error code it's giving me, and then I can pull up the book and go, oh, it is saying that this thing there is not firing correctly.
Yeah, that or like in a moment, like I can pull it out. It's not functioning right now, but like kind of just like the gist of what you would expect from it and how it operates. But yeah, like depending on kind of what type of software or like the firmware you have on the actual scanners, because like there's different types of scanners you're able to get. You're able to get some that just hook up and they're Bluetooth and they go to the phone, or like one of the ones like I have, it's a Mako scanner, and so it's a full-blown tablet. I'm able to plug this up to the car. I can do service resets, release the braking system for when I'm doing like service on the brakes and stuff. Like there's a lot that it interfaces with. But with that one, like it has basically like literally every manufacturer in there, and essentially almost every car like uploaded into the system of just whole databases of knowledge for it. And so like I can plug it into my car, I click on the tablet, I go to my car, I do a search on it, and then when it runs the error codes, instead of giving like a generic error code, that's what it's called usually, like P 30 or whatever their codes start with, it's like, hey,
so it translates the code.
Yeah, your mass airflow sensor's out, and like on top of that, I can go through and actually read the value and see like if it's out of range. But also too, if you have the licensing and stuff, you're able to go and then click on it, and it can literally instruct you step by step on diagnostic steps and troubleshooting and areas to look in. And then if you do find one of them on there, you can be like, hey, it's this one, click. And it's like, cool. So this is how you do the entire repair and step by step where you need to go and take off everything.
So let me say on that note, when I was in the military, I was the Air Force. I was a military police, but I had people that were F-22 mechanics. Yeah. And so they would happen to go, well, this part's broken, and they would have to bring out a big binder, flip through it.
Service
and then,
manuals. Win.
And so they had to go through it and go, okay, this the part's broken. They would go down the steps and go, I check this first. I do this. So you're already encapsulating all that information into a handheld device.
Yeah.
Do you not understand how powerful that is? Again, knowledge that I would never know about a vehicle. You took that, incorporated those two aspects into one.
Yeah.
So again, taking time to step back and then look at other things, brought you this information. And that's the great thing about tech, and especially cybersecurity like that. And another thing is that we have so many different disciplines that come into each other that give us this information.
Like with some people at work, like they'll ask me like, hey, like, how do you like IT, or how did you get into IT, so be it. And I always break it down like this. I'm like, when you start off in IT, I was like, it's like a funnel in a way. You have to know like this much information, and it's like you don't have to know a lot of it, but you need to have information in X, Y, and Z area. And then it's like the further you go into that profession, it's like you start narrowing down. And so it's like, oh, I really like doing infrastructure. Let me do infrastructure. Or like, I love doing networking. I'm going to be a network engineer. So on and so forth. And then it's like, you have the security path, and then you kind of make that switch into security, and it restarts again to where it's like, hey, I have to know, X, Y, and Z. And then it's like eventually the longer you go in the cyber, it's just like, you know what? I really, really like this one thing, and that's the sole thing I'm going to do. And it's like the smallest niche in the world, but they have a position for it out there. And so it's just like, it's this little pyramid effect where it's like you come and it's like, I mean, you can do, cars, you can do microcontrollers, wireless attacks. You're able to go through and work with the medical devices, IoT, like just so many different things. Honestly, not gonna lie, I think the medical hacking is what scares me the most. There are some scary people.
So not just stealing information, but going all the way down to a pacemaker that is considered how I can pull the information off of that to see how many times your heart is irregular and how many times you have to get shocked. Yeah. Because now they made it Bluetooth compatible, and they'll just scan it, and then now your information is there. And like, you know what? It is not remote most of the time. It's just Bluetooth compatible.
Yeah.
So I have to connect to something to talk to it, and then just let's make a zap at the wrong time or turn it off. And
I forgot which.
And don't forget, like, not pacemakers. What is it? Insulin pumps now.
Oh yeah,
They're Bluetooth compatible
yes.
too. And diabetic comas can happen quite rapidly with too much insulin.
So I forget which hack it was specifically, but geez, it was the X-ray machines where they went and they increased the value on the X-ray machine, and so it was coming out as normal, but it was really malfunctioning, and it like killed like 3 people.
It gave more than 3. So what it was that was back in the day when they started doing everything, and then they did not test the coding for actual human interaction. They had a person that worked so fast and so rapidly that they were shooting person with more radiation treatment, radiation to the person, and then make them just die of radiation poisoning.
Yeah.
And so they had significant amounts, and that was a fault in the code. It was basically, there was no fail-safe to stop over-radiating someone. It was a person that would just, skip it and boop, it passed the code, and it's brrr, and it was quite rapidly. A lot of people were dying because of that. Now, the number, I can't remember. I know it's more than 3. And then, like I said, significant people died, and a lot of people got sick because of it. Because, that amount of radiation in that small amount of time is very detrimental to your health.
Yeah, it's definitely not like Fallout, that's for sure.
So, let's see what we got.
While we're waiting for Ben, should we start prepping materials and getting that ready so once he gets here, we can get the show on the road?
Yeah.
I see that we have some rice over there.
Oh, yeah. I pre-cooked it because it's
Okay.
going to take a lot longer than that. But
while we're doing that, I guess we'll start up the rice maker and put the fresh rice in there, at least so we're able to see. It's like, hey, now that we're done cooking this meal, your rice is barely ready. But
can you give me a fork?
Yes, I can. Let me grab one.
And then some water.
Here's a fork.
Kasha.
Do you want water or do you want the 23B Club Mate in there?
Water for rice.
Let me see.
I sent our friend to get water too because apparently we didn't have any on hand.
I'm looking for the cups. I just need a cup. I think we're all out of cups, actually.
Yeah. That's why I have mine over there right there, but you might want to rinse it off. We're going to use that. That's me. Had pop in it.
Yo.
All right. Right.
I think we're all out of. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I sent him to get water.
Because people think this is wild work. Are you okay with tap water?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. For all those who hate tap water, you're hurting my feelings, all right?
We're going to boil it. What does it matter? It's not poisoned already, so. Oh, don't worry about it. We got it.
Oh, it's been here?
Yeah, you just pull it in.
Oh, cool. Let me just dump this in here. Mind you, without this stove, I was about to teach you guys how to cook off of your car when you're really in a pinch, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Let me go help them real quick.
Go ahead and grab them. All right. So, for me, everyone needs to have at least rice cooker, some way of cooking rice. My favorite. I'm a little bougie. Not many things I am about, but a rice cooker is one of the things I like to have. You can have a crock pot, instant cook pot. You can have a pan of water, put aluminum foil on it, put it in the stove for 350 for about, I think 30 minutes until it gets soft. There's many different ways. You can just put it in a boiling pot on top of the stove with some water and let it boil. There's many different ways, but sometimes just set and forget. It's a great thing. For me, it has a lovely little increments on it. Yeah, they'll tell you right there for sushi rice, brown rice, white rice mixtures. They'll tell you how many cups and everything like that. Now, you measure out the cups of the rice itself in a certain measurement, and then this tells you on increments for the water itself, how much you're supposed to put into it. So, we're going to put about about 3 cups right there.
Can I cut you off for 1 second?
Go ahead.
All right, guys. Now introducing my second guest, Ben.
Hey everybody, how's it going?
This is Ben. So we've been talking for a little bit now while we're waiting to get everything in. But once we get you all comfortable, would you like to introduce yourself and
Sure.
tell everyone how you kind of got into tech?
Sure. Absolutely.
Let me see, and then let me adjust the camera positioning too. So
Does everybody want to see nudes or you all want to go blind?
Drink water supremacy. Jeremy, what's up? All right.
Stuff. Yeah, so I've been in IT for over 31 years. Oh, check it out. Got pictures of my.
Oh, you can't. You gotta go a little bit lower. Man,
Is this how we're doing it?
is stored in the
We're
ball.
going to start cutting.
Well, hello there, everybody.
Do you want me to bring some chairs over?
Go ahead. Bring
Okay,
yours.
yeah, you can sit in the chairs.
All right.
You want me to adjust the camera?
Oh, we're going to cook. We're going to be able to show what we're doing
Oh,
at hand.
okay,
We were
okay.
talking already, and now we're adjusting the camera.
All right.
We should. Now we know we need you now. We live and we learn. Since we're not in the kitchen,
We're in a kitchen. This is 100% not a machine shop. It's a kitchen.
so first off, you pour water in. You want to wash your rice. It's going to have starch on
You
it.
wash your rice?
Damn right, I wash my rice.
Who does that?
Me. Again, I have a rice cooker for a reason. I'm a little bougie. So you can see that starch is right there. If you can look at it, see right there. So you can see it's cloudy, kind of milky. So we're going to rinse it out. You're going to rinse it out till you get to where it's clear as, just normal water. So it's going to take a while. But because we only have so much amount of water on hand, and you know what? I compare on my side,
Well, I'm very prepared, sir.
day-old cooked rice. I made that yesterday. Put that in the refrigerator, making sure to spread it out in the pan. All right, I'm gonna go wash the vegetables if someone wants to get everything set up.
Yes, I'm getting the stove set up right now. You do need a stove to make this meal.
I'm gonna wash all the vegetables and come back.
Maybe we'll make ambrosia salad for the next one.
I don't know what that is.
All right, so we're getting this stove set up right now. Let's see here if I can get the sticker off.
So I'm Ben. I've been in IT for over 31 years. I've been doing cybersecurity since the 90s.
That's before cybersecurity.
Yeah,
That's when it was just IT.
that's right.
Well, tell us about yourself, and I'm gonna start cutting up vegetables then. Okay?
Sure.
How you got into IT and everything like that?
I got into IT back in 1994. I was 14 years old. And my mom had got me a job at a computer repair shop working for an Iraqi electrical engineer named Ross Jabaji. He took me under his wing and he mentored me, and I worked for him for like 8 years, and that's how I got my start. And I was dialing into BBSs back in the early 90s and playing games on DOS back in the late 80s. Started using a computer when I was a couple of years old. My mom put me in front of a computer, and been in front of a computer ever since. And that's why my back hurts so bad. But
Your mom really wanted you to be a computer professional.
Yeah,
huh?
now my mom gets free IT tech support for forever. For
She
life.
was like, "This is the end game plan."
Yeah, it doesn't matter what I'm doing. If my mom calls me, I'm just like, "What do you need? How can I help?" You know, I'm instant support. Started in the enterprise in 2008, and I'm a network systems and security architect. I really love to do support still. I'm good at it. Love to make shit. I have my own competitive CTF team. Yeah, that's most of what I would like to share, I guess.
Oh yeah. Let's hope that I don't get like a whippet.
Did you read the directions?
No.
RTFM?
No, I didn't.
Of course not. Who reads the fucking directions?
No.
I actually do.
I do too.
The only thing I didn't get to. So I got a house now, and we got a dishwasher. I've always been anti-dishwashing because every time I grew up somewhere, the dishwasher was more work than it was worth, and the dishes would come out worse than they would go in and everything. You know, technology has advanced since then, and I had to get my prejudice up, trying to cut down time and everything. Did not read the instructions. My wife actually harped on me for the first time. She goes, "Did you read the instructions?" I was like, No, didn't do that. She goes, "Really?" And I'm like, yeah, call me out on my BS. Because I would tell her every time,
like, you're gonna blow me up. All right, let me just read the.
So
manual.
as you can see right now, I cut off the whites, which we're gonna cook inside of the fried rice, and then the greens will be more of a garnish at the time, and we'll cook a little bit at the end. You don't want to ever overcook the greens. And you saw on top of that, I cut off the ends. One time that's the parts there.
Oh,
Cooking some sticker there.
yeah.
Okay.
It's not the best adhesive for.
I think I might leave this stove top at 23B so that if anybody ever needs to cook something,
Yes.
there will be a stove here.
We have an air fryer now too in here.
Really?
Dude, we're gonna be making like
It's not
some
an air fryer. They're using that to take the rust off of stuff.
Dude, no, we made dino nuggies the first night that came in,
Man.
and like corn dogs and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
bro, with the microwave too. We're gonna be making the most bougiest meals down here.
fried Snickers.
Oh yes, deep fried Twinkies.
Oh my god,
Mm.
that sounds actually. I'm having chest pains just thinking about it.
I don't like Twinkies.
Dude,
I don't like Twinkies.
I don't
Really?
I don't like donuts.
understand
Look,
this
I like
manual.
I don't
meat
eat.
and potatoes. I'm more carbs.
I don't eat gluten.
Ben, would you like to take a while? This manual is not helping.
Sure.
me.
You can't read those Chinese directions.
It's the data graph. Like,
What the hell? Notch safety guide. Okay, let's see here. I see.
See how many, it takes to get us to get this done.
oh, that's the fuel. Oh, that's the unlock fuel. Okay, so there's fuel lock, unlock, and then the on off. Okay, we're getting somewhere.
Actually, could you move?
Yes.
I don't want to fire, like freezing butane at
Oh
you.
no, I'm cool. I'm chilling. I
All right.
love the freaking butane.
Oh, I see.
So vegetables can be all cut on the same cutting board. It doesn't reduce cross contamination, but you want to make sure you have a different cutting board and you clean off your knife and your area after you work with raw meat and everything like that. You do not want to have cross contamination, especially since we're doing chicken. Salmonella is a thing.
No, it's not.
Mm,
What do you know about the bird?
different things.
The what?
There we go.
Now, for harder vegetables like carrots, we're gonna make sure they're bite-sized pieces.
Oh, I see.
Cool.
Okay.
Oh, I see.
Oh, we need to lock it like that?
Safety.
Oh,
Safety.
there we go.
Safety.
My bad. Oh, we have fire!
All right.
Alrighty.
All right, so
Can you hand me that wok
Maybe
real
we should
quick?
start by melting and inhaling this plastic. Is that a part of the step?
Sure, why not?
I was gonna say I have the eggs and I have a bowl and a fork. Someone wants to scramble that
Yes.
and start that off for us.
Did you wash your hands?
Yeah.
I washed mine.
I washed my hands about 6 hours ago. Got put some of that good seasoning up there.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, kids, while cooking, washing your hands unnecessary, especially for your guests.
I got iron guts. I've also been in the ER with traveler's diarrhea. So
This is gonna be interesting.
you're going to help you with that?
Yeah, kind of. I'm trying to.
You can go off the table because the thing's not gonna be.
I know.
There you go.
There you go.
That's what I was.
You want to
thinking.
do it a hard surface. You don't have to do a corner.
That's what I was thinking originally. I was like, should I hit it off the table? And then I was just like,
Can you open up one of these plates so I can throw my detritus on it?
detritus.
There you go.
Oh, there we go. All right. Look
Making
at
all
this
scraps.
guy. All kinds of prepared.
Making sure we have scraps going somewhere that we can go to.
So there's a secret I know about cracking eggs. Oh, can we eat the bag again?
You can have the bag. Here you go.
Thank you. We have more
The waste
detritus.
bag. Here, maybe turn that fire off for now,
Yeah.
so you don't accidentally rest your arm on it or something.
What do you mean? All right, I think I got this.
I got you here.
What are you guys nervous of my cooking already?
Apparently, the playing skills of everything is what we should be more scared of.
I guess I'll do the mixing. You did the cracking.
All right.
So what you're gonna want to do is put your bowl at a 30-degree angle, not a 45, not a 20, not a 10, not a 0, but a 30.
Am I cracking more eggs?
No, those
Okay,
ones are
okay.
special.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna try making you guys those fancy eggs that you cut over the rice and it folds out, drips the yolk out.
Okay.
It's gonna be rough. I'm probably gonna fail, but
All right.
I'm gonna try my hardest.
Legit.
Hey, failing is the first step of trying something.
No, it's
Right.
not. I'm perfection at any given step of the way.
Mentiroso.
So as you can see, we're stirring
de acuerdo.
at a 30-degree angle. We want to make sure that these yolks are all blended in with those whites.
I'm gonna take sure this is salt before I put it in there.
What are you trying to say? We're not at DEFCON, you see? Oh, trying to get me some clogged arteries.
Trying to have flavor.
There we go. We're all mixed up now.
I think we're supposed to give a little security talk as well, right?
Just talking in general.
Talking.
Yeah.
Talking in general.
Talking.
So we talked about RSA 23, the chip, talking about how the scare of that.
232?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So I talked about that for a bit, talking about the scare about they had about that. That the person that did the research said it was a backdoor, but it's not really a backdoor per se.
Right.
What I figured out it was
Yes.
that you had to have. That is the key word. But the marketing that I heard they put on their actual website stated that, hey, we found this. Talk to us and we'll fix this stuff for you.
Right.
It's not how you're supposed to talk about, hey, this is the issue. This is how you find it. This is how
Right.
you, reveal it. This is how you kind of,
They
there's
said
no
it was
CV.
a feature.
And is it?
It is a feature. It's some test commands that some security researchers were worried would be abused. The only thing we haven't seen is a proof of concept or CVE released yet.
You like how flawless
Um,
that knife is, huh?
It brings me back to a friend of mine found a test interface on a Mitel phone system, and it ended up being abused by a botnet to do DDoS attacks. And it was just a little test interface you could send several unique packets to do some testing, and they were able to write a script and scan the internet for all these Mitel phone systems, and then leverage a massive DDoS attack just by using these featured test interfaces. So later it got patched, but it's kind of the same thing where they've got these features that are for developers that are public facing or are available to the general public or could be leveraged by an attacker. I think in this case, the attacker would have to compromise the device itself and get in between the abstraction layer there in order to really abuse this. But we've seen it before.
And
So
again, the only thing is for this
time.
one, you have to have hands-on access to get into that system.
Right.
And that,
but
if you already have hands-on, you know.
a malicious app could give you access to the abstraction layer there, right?
Yeah.
You know, you're sitting right between the encryption, the user, and the cloud at that point. So it could be leveraged by malware. It could be leveraged by any kind of bad actor that gets access to the phone a multitude of ways. So it'll be interesting to see how that develops.
But it's not. So the fun thing is, it's not phones. There's a lot of devices with that chip.
Right.
And like even like a Flipper Zero has it.
Something like 2 billion devices have these Bluetooth chips, right?
And that's the number I stated.
I think that's also that's a supply chain issue there when you have a single manufacturer providing Bluetooth services to so many devices.
And that's like the strike issue we had. You know, so many systems went down because of that. Because, you know,
CrowdStrike.
Yeah, CrowdStrike. Thank you.
Yeah.
We had the same issue with that. You know, if you have only one provider for a bunch of people, then you have, you know, a certain system that becomes a, like you said.
Right. In this case, it was a SaaS provided, you know, security service, and they pushed updates to people that were fucked up and ended up blue screening, you know, thousands and thousands of machines running Windows that had CrowdStrike on them, and they did billions and billions of dollars in damages. It kind of reminds me of SolarWinds 1, 2, 3. I was actually working in healthcare at the time. SolarWinds was compromised.
I remember that.
And the company I was at got breached, and you know, we rotated CISOs. People lost their jobs, and did, you know, millions of dollars of damages to the company. So I'm kind of cloud averse, just because of these issues. You know, when you contract out your services to a third party, your only guarantee that they're going to be secure is really through a service level agreement, and you've got legal recourse there, I guess. That's the thing. You either manage it yourself or you pay someone else to manage it, and then any mistake they make is now yours.
But it's not just yours; it's multiple people who are under the same umbrella, under the umbrella of them.
Everybody's right. That's another problem with like AWS and
Microsoft,
yeah. For sure.
Whoa, Microsoft.
Sorry, I'm a Linux Unix dude. I'm sort of biased.
Don't have to tell me twice.
I do manage a lot of Microsoft machines, though. I think it's unavoidable. It's good to know. It's out there in the enterprise.
At my job, we actually only use Temple OS and solely Temple OS.
Oh, okay. So it's a religious organization.
Yeah, I think I'm one of the very few Temple OS administrators in the world.
I think you're the only Temple OS administrator in the world. I've never heard of somebody successfully using Temple OS.
Well, we have it running at the office right now, and we've been messing around with it, but
you shouldn't tell people about the backdoors you're putting on your customer systems.
No, this is in our test lab, and it's air gapped. I was like, this is gonna be fun.
So tell me about Temple. I'll be very honest, never even heard of it till today.
That's not surprising.
To be honest, if Terry wasn't one of the biggest pieces of shit in the world, I think more people would be impressed. But like, he was very schizophrenic. But like, the thing is this one dude built an operating system, and I mean, it functions. It's not like Windows but like, it's still a fucking operating system.
I mean, he's a pretty smart guy to build his own OS.
Fucking wild.
It was like a situation where like the crazy, like ultra religious dude on the street, it's like a burned out brain kind of guy.
Yeah.
You know, that's like shouting about, you know, everyone's going to hell or whatever. If that guy built an operating system, that's what Temple OS is.
Yeah. So with Temple OS, its main language is Holy See. That's another thing too. So like, on top of building the operating system, this man came up with his own coding language, we can say too. But yeah, I mean, besides everything, if
so
he wasn't one of the
C#, C, What else is there? C++.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
have C, C sharp, C++, and then
Holy C.
Holy C.
Which I don't think anybody uses.
I administer it, so like it's not.
Well, if you gotta run Temple, apparently you gotta run it. So God bless.
I don't know of any use cases, but I think he wrote like a whole software suite.
I mean, it plays CS:GO.
What?
No,
You
It's
had
just
him.
like-
You
it's just
had him. I was like,
yo,
You
like
broke my brain right there.
you're sitting there, like I guess we'll have to try it out.
It was just like, how is this possible?
Oh, what was that?
We had our
A knob of garlic.
It's garlic.
sorry,
I'm
Ginger.
gonna die. I'm a vampire, man. I'm Drac. I'm 10 million years old.
Well, it's my bad. Ginger.
Nice.
Hey, who
Healthy.
wouldn't have like to have a ginger on their lap?
Oh.
Whoa.
Not really my favorite.
That's where we're going right now with the stream already. We're barely like 30 minutes into this live stream, and YouTube's over here like, what did you say?
It's a novel ginger.
Demonetized.
Jeez.
Don't worry, folks. We've already been demonetized, so it's not an issue.
Actually, I don't believe that there is any monetization, but if you guys would like to put your money towards something tonight for the donations, if you'd like to donate to the Diana Initiative, you can do so. You don't have to, but if you would like to put some funds their way, that would be greatly appreciated for them.
What is that exactly?
Yeah,
The
but
Diana Initiative is for underrepresented and now I'm drawing a brain for. It's for underrepresented individuals in cybersecurity.
That's cool.
They do a lot of work for women in cyber, for blacks in cyber. Just anyone that's underrepresented.
Oh,
you
wow.
know,
I didn't even know about that. I feel bad.
It's okay. I mean,
I'm learning new things today. So go ahead.
Yeah.
Lay it on me.
but if you're really into, getting more diversity out in the workplace and supporting others that might not be able to do so,
Yeah.
they definitely will 100% enable that. I've been to their conference before
That's
that they
super
have
cool.
in Las Vegas,
Nice.
and
What conference is that?
it's the Diana Initiative conference. It's on Monday, so there's for the week of DEF CON. Obviously at Black Hat, but my whole when I
Summer camp?
when I go for Hacker Summer Camp, I go, Sunday to Sunday. I go for the whole week. So on Monday, it's the Diana Initiative, and that's at the Westin, I think it is. I might be wrong. It's right behind the link.
I'd like to hit that up. Do you
and-
have to is it like paid entry?
So it is paid, but there's also free tickets. So if you're a student, they'll provide you with a free ticket. They have free
Okay.
tickets, I think, for if you're a woman in cyber.
So they have like BIPOC scholarships.
Yeah, and so like
Cool.
there's so many free ones that they'll offer up, but honestly, it's a fairly affordable price to get in,
Cool.
and like it's really nice because it's a really nice and small conference. There's not a whole lot going on, but like when I went, like Homeland Security was there recruiting for jobs,
Wow.
Google, Microsoft, Blizzard. I actually
I
went.
imagine they won't be there next year. Shit.
And I went and like I talked with Blizzard. I actually had an interview with them. I was trying to get into their summer internship program. And then like my multi-factor authentication key, Google was just handing them out, man. I got a Titan and a Fido down there. They do
You got a what?
the security keys from Google. So they have the
Is that like
Titan.
a key?
Yeah, so the Titan is a USB that you plug into your laptop and you touch, and then it also has NFC. And then the Fido is a Bluetooth one for your phone, so you're able to press it, and then it syncs up with the phone. So when you have a MFA prompt pop up, you press and hold. It'll be like, "Hey, use your security key." You press the button, and then it runs it real quick, and then it
Something you
shuts
have.
back off. Yeah,
Cool.
and they do like mock interviews. They do resume reviews. Big ass train passing
Comes the
by.
train.
But they do quite a bit, and it's a very nice and tame time down there. And honestly, like if you want to support them, go ahead and do so.
How are their parties?
They have a dinner banquet.
Okay.
It's not a B-sides party. It's not a DEF CON party.
It's like a charity fundraiser type party.
I guess you could say it. I don't know off the top of my head because I know they have the banquet. I haven't got to attend the banquet, so that's after, and it's included with your pass in. I think there's like a slight upcharge on it. It's like $10 for the dinner, but Yeah, off the top of my head, I can't think of it. But that, and then also too, they send out monthly newsletters, and so yeah, there's quite a bit that they do.
Wow, I feel so bad for not knowing anything about that at all.
Why would you feel bad?
Well,
I don't know.
learning something new. You can't know everything.
For sure.
And that's the thing about tech. We can't know every little minutiae thing of it.
Oh, hell
we
yeah,
need to
you
know.
can.
We need
I
to
thought I
understand.
knew everything though.
How are you supposed to build Temple OS?
You ask.
That's
Once
fair.
you don't know
You ask
something,
an
you
admin.
ask. You ask
Yeah.
someone that might know. You research. You look it up. That is the whole thing about tech, is being able to have the initiative and drive to want to know answers to questions you have.
Yeah, absolutely. I think more people need to have that attitude.
I
I
have a
like how
question.
my face is obscured by this QR code here.
Oh, that's the logo. Here, we can
Oh,
shift
that's the
over if you
logo?
want. Here, we'll shift over.
No,
Do you
I
mind if I
actually
shift
kind
a
of
little
like
bit?
it.
You can come on over.
Come on.
What is that, like a
There we
hamster
go.
or something?
No, it's the unicorn chefs.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I don't even know what feed I'm on right here.
All right,
This is
after
the black hat tutorial, right? Right now we're going to talk about credit card
Are you done
fraud.
with the veggies almost?
I'll do ginger, and then you can cut chicken for me.
Okay, perfect. That's what I
'Cause-
was waiting for because I
yeah.
need to start the chicken too.
Well, the egg right now.
regular chef
You can do
over
the egg.
I already done the egg.
No, you can cook the egg first.
Oh.
You can cook the egg. I have a bowl for you to put it in after you're done cooking.
Oh, well, if I would have known. All right, so this is Ghriz's cooking portion. We'll see how, oh, it's on.
Mhm.
We'll see how well this goes. So I'm notorious for burning eggs and burning chicken. Good thing there's no
I think
eggs.
you need to put oil in there first.
Oh, yeah, that's why I brought the oil, too.
That's why I put it inside you.
My wok is seasoned, all right?
Well, you always need to put new oil in there.
What? You don't use used oil?
You don't cook with motor oil, Ghriz. I've told you this before.
Bro,
I know you're into cars.
I haven't changed my oil in like 40,000 miles.
Lies.
I wish I was.
I thought you were a car guy.
I am, and one thing you'll learn, it's like when you go home, are you like, I'm gonna hop on my computer after I just worked on computers all day long.
I'm trying not to be like that.
Yeah.
So there's a story about that. It is the cobbler's son.
Oh.
So the cobbler's son goes hungry. Or sorry, the cobbler's son doesn't have shoes. The butcher's son goes hungry, and the pastor's son goes faithless. It is everyone practices what they do at work, but they don't bring it home.
Oh,
Just like a mechanic will come home and not want to fix his own car, change his own oil.
Yeah.
He'll pay someone else to do it.
But I'm not a mechanic no more.
Interesting.
With me, it's just I'm a lazy piece of shit, and I have to drive 2 hours home. So like,
I wouldn't call that lazy. I'd call that exhausted.
yeah, very exhausted. That like it's like on Saturday, I'm just like I don't want to spend my day changing oil right now, but I'm
Fair.
gonna do it this
I'll
Saturday.
pay someone else.
I pinky promise you though, my car's only 2,200 miles over, but
I
that's
imagine
just
like your oil is like Jello.
no, 'cause my oil that like usually it's like
I've heard longer.
My
I've heard people
car-
going longer.
my car is like you change it every 6,000 miles, and I usually put the really good stuff. Me personally, I change it every 3, so I set the service interval for 3 on my car,
Okay.
and that's just solely because it is modified.
That's what I do on my Honda.
Yeah,
I do
so
every
I'm not, like,
3,000.
Technically over, but
They say it's like you're supposed to do every 6,000 on a Honda. typically.
it depends on the car. So like with my BMW is like almost 10,000 miles.
Is that the one that's missing the front part of it?
No, this is another one.
Oh,
So I used to have a 335i, and so like with that one, it was like every it was like 9 or 10,000 miles. It would be change or 6. I forgot what, but you would use you use liquid moly, and then on the liquid moly is like super salt oil, and then on top of that, like your filter, you only change it out. You're supposed to change it every other oil change or so, or
Uh-huh.
the miles specified, but. With me, I change it with every oil change.
Okay.
It really just depends on what type of oil I put in the car, and then also to what car it is. So with
But
the
for a Honda, you're going to be using synthetic oil, right?
I usually say they use synthetic, just because. But like with mine, I solely
Pretty much any modern.
I change it just because it's modified, and so it's gonna burn my
So I
oil.
don't know that much about cars.
Oh, that's okay.
I could put a nav system in a car. A cheap Chinese $130 nav system.
Not anymore now.
Really? Oh yeah. Now it's
Life.
expensive.
Life
Chinese
happens.
nav system.
Life happens.
Oh, that's right. I just bought some screen protectors for my spouse's iPhone the other day, and I paid $9 in taxes.
Oh wow.
After something under $20. It's crazy. I was like, what's going on? Oh, wait. Yeah. Welcome to the modern world.
Let me see here.
Chaos, poverty, and destruction.
You want to put it high.
Hi.
Yeah, here we go.
Why waste the butane? I gotta make the
Oh,
chicken.
no,
so.
you can waste all the butane you want.
Well, we don't have more. Do we have more?
You're not gonna run out.
I don't know. I don't want to find out.
It's a brand new one.
It's brand new. It'll last. And then the longest cook time is going to be the vegetables.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm making sure everything's small enough, bite size, so cook.
Smart man. Got a real chef over here.
Hey.
No,
hey,
I'm
I
a
do-
cook.
I
Not
do
my
that in my day
profession.
job.
It's not my
Do I
profession.
need to go get my ratatouille fit? All right.
Hold on, let me just.
Recycle me cola, original taste.
Right.
Would you be so kind to rinse this off for me?
Yep.
And this as well. So I can
Yeah.
cut the chicken then.
Oh, now we're starting to burn. I might turn it down just a tad. Start to burn.
So one thing I would recommend that you should have done was let it warm up first and let it heat up. So when you put it onto a ripping pan, it can start cooking quickly. That was the issue we had right there. But we live and we learn. That's why it's kind of sticky and it's a little stuck on there. So next time we want to do for fried rice, you want to put the oil on there, rotate it around, let to put the eggs on when it starts smoking just slightly. And then we wouldn't have the issue we have right now.
What issue? There's no issue. Crazy? I'm not crazy. The rats. The rats made me crazy. They locked me in a rubber room full of rats. Dude, I'm going to be taking cooking lessons every month
Mm-hmm.
on Unicorn Chef. And the next thing you know, like, I'm going to be making the wildest meals.
Thank you much.
So right now we're cooking eggs, as you can see.
Oh, good job.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it. So you saw the vegetables. Everything else was cut on one cutting board. We wiped it off. Then we're going to do meat. Again, salmonella is a thing.
No, it's not. Don't misinform the viewers.
That's your job.
You know, they don't call me the Misinformation Village for no reason.
It's actually a great idea.
I remember at
Misinformation Village.
so at it was
start that.
Cal State. Well, there is one.
There is?
Yeah, there's
At
one.
DEF CON?
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
how come I missed that?
For at Cal State Fullerton. Oh, damn it! I feel like you're trolling me now.
Look, I've never been to
So
DEF CON, so
at Cal State
Never been to DEF CON?
Fullerton, they had their OSS con, and they're like, "Oh, you can be the Misinformation
I
Village."
was there.
And yeah, and so I had the misinformation
I was
booth,
giving people misinformation.
and they came up to me, and there's these people that came up to me, and they're doing the scav hunt, and they asked me a question, like, "Yo, like, you're a judge," like, because they put me as a judge, I guess.
I think those eggs are cooked.
Yep. And
yes, right there.
they're like, where can we find these Furbies? Because I had brought one of my Furbies.
It turned off. Turn off the gas.
Safety first.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is that what? Why did the safety go off?
Oh, that's what happened.
Because you bumped it.
I bumped it.
Whenever you hit it, it's supposed to turn itself off. Safety mechanism, so you won't, kill yourself.
That's a great idea.
But yeah, they're like, "Yo, where can we find these Furbies at?" And they're like, "There's only so much more time." And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "They're in the parking garage on the third story in this specific area."
Nobody stole them?
They weren't up there. I gave them straight up so they went running across campus to this random parking garage.
Well, students need exercise.
Yeah, and they came back and they're like, they're like, "We couldn't find it." And I was like, deducting 100 points from you guys for asking the judge. I thought that was hilarious.
I think I spent most of OSS Con getting a WWAN device to work on a Linux machine.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I remember.
Okay.
You're right across the way from me.
I got it working, and then I had to set like the region and everything, and get the bandwidth functioning properly.
Did you get there late?
No, he's there early.
No, I was there.
If I recall, I think I got you Starbucks too, or maybe you passed. But I know that everyone that was there early, I got him Starbucks.
I remember. I was there though. I might have showed up late. I'm late to everything.
I don't know. Are you? Because you usually show up when I show up.
Oh,
All right, so turn it on.
Today.
Heat it up. Put some oil in there. If you want to, you can take that and scrub it off if you want.
Oh, it's not locking.
Yeah.
Open it up.
Go ahead.
Let me not burn the table either.
There you go.
What's happening?
It's not locking.
Go ahead.
Something popped off.
So it's not locking in place.
There we go.
There you go. Close it back up.
Really gently.
Be mindful. There you go.
All right. Can you put the wok down, please?
Yep.
Put the wok down.
Put oil in.
Yep.
Get a plate for that, and just so you can have something to put it on top of.
Okay. I'll wash the spoon off. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have another one.
That should be good enough. Now, rotate it around a little bit.
Yeah. Let's see. We're currently re-oiling the wok right now.
Mm-hmm. So every time you get something cooking in there, you're supposed to re-oil the wok again, kind of rotate it around, make sure you get everything set in oil like that. And then you want to make sure it starts heating up, and you should have a nice low smoke, and that's when you should cook it. So for the extra oil, if you want, you don't have to keep all that in there. You can pour that into the rice. Because we don't have a bowl. We're supposed to like pour it out into a bowl. Here, go ahead and pour it into rice because we're going to use it again anyway. The excess oil will just go into where it's going to be anyway. And there you
We
go.
didn't have any dish soap, so I've just been using my urine because I heard that it's sterile.
Yes.
Is that true?
Very true.
Okay.
I actually work in the medical industry too.
Me too. I worked in healthcare for a while. That's why I know these things.
I'm a neurosurgeon.
Mentiroso. All right.
Whoa. You're forgetting the salt.
You put that salt in when you start cooking.
Listen to the cook, man. Oh, I see. You're flavoring the pan.
All right. Where's my other spatula? There we go. Put
All
that
right.
chicken in. Or wait, no. Not yet.
So I'm going to cut up the other chicken to bite-sized pieces. You want to make it where it's smaller than a bite-size. So you can have like at least two or three pieces of chicken in your mouth when you have a spoonful, you know?
Oh, yeah.
I think the wok's smoking.
There you go. Oh, really? I'm over here paying attention to the chicken, and I look over. I'm like, oh, it's smoky. That's really weird smoke.
We just put a little bit more salt.
Remember to add a little bit of vape to your cooking. If you blow some vape smoke onto it, it's not only is it sanitary, but
It puts a fruity taste in it.
good for your cancer potential.
Yes. Did you know that Samsung devices
Here you go, my friend.
can possibly cause cancer or have chemicals that cause it?
I don't believe it. Everything made
Now
in
it's
China is
smoking.
completely safe for your health.
All right. So since I don't want to splash oil myself, I'm gonna.
Damn.
What did you do?
You bumped it.
I bumped.
No, not again.
Make sure. Open it again.
No, it's on now. It's on now. All right.
It's on.
Yep, put that wok on there.
Okay. A little bit more, and I think that should be enough.
Yep.
We'll cook the rest later.
All right, this is Griz's portion again.
Mm-hmm.
So right
I
now,
need to correct some misinformation I just spouted. Samsung is a Korean company.
they are. What did you say?
I said it's manufactured in China, which could possibly be true, but I believe it's manufactured in Korea.
It is a Korean company.
I've been to
Yes.
Taiwan. That's where.
Dude, that's where
Foxconn offices are.
Ray's from, bro. Do you know Kai Cenat?
Maybe.
You know, shout out Ray. So he's a Twitch streamer, and yeah, Ray's from Taiwan.
Okay. I've been there a couple times. I like Taiwan. Let me type in. It's looking good.
It's just like
Buttered
flipping around.
salted chicken.
Oh yeah, the butter.
There is butter in there.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I had to clean the knife off so you can cut off.
Oh, what? Just use your hands. Did you wash your hands?
I did wash my hands.
I don't
Here you
know.
go.
They look a little dry.
Heat your finger up in your butt and then use it to scoop the butter.
Yes.
Talking about ginger being too much.
I used to work in the corporate world.
It shows.
Here we go.
Nice. Just really butter that chicken up. Yeah, boy. You guys are so lucky I didn't join the culinary world.
I mean, here you are.
I know.
How many
basically.
years?
See, guys, cooking is fun, especially cooking with your friends.
Oh yeah, I love to cook.
That's like one of the main purposes of Unicorn Chef is
What one interesting
bringing out the joys of cooking.
I'm definitely gonna take back the stove. There we go.
I don't know. It's all right. It's all right. It's doing its
If you
thing.
bump it too hard, it like turns off.
Turn a little lower. There you go.
We have one safety conscious person here with their head screwed on properly.
Bro, we don't do that at DEF CON. Safety is not a requirement. Now that the chicken is nice and raw, what you want to do is add in your eggs.
I actually had a really good time at DEF CON this
Yeah?
year. I sponsored
Take
a
a
bunch
seat,
of people
Rob.
to
I'm
go.
just looking.
Well, yep.
I can't-
You say
Somebody's got to observe the cooking so it doesn't get ruined.
Oh no, it's fine. I got you guys. I as much as I can cook and bill, it's okay. See, now you're in the camera shot. Everyone can see your beautiful face.
I
Speaking
saw my
of,
hands working.
where's my Heineken? I don't know where
Oh,
I put it.
Right here.
We've got near beers.
Yes.
I can tell mine is that one.
Where's the?
Behind the tablet. They're holding up the device.
Oh, perfect.
It had another job.
Oh
We
yeah.
commandeered
boy.
it for another job. And then
This is non-alcoholic beer. I haven't had a drink since June 1st, 2018, because as you can tell, I'm already horribly behaved. So alcohol.
hey, congratulations.
Thank
I am. More power to you, my friend.
I have a flask that I hide in my desk at work.
I've been there.
No. It's just like down. in the-
I was military 4 years. I was drunk most of it. So
That makes sense.
you can ask my friends, but they're not gonna be on here.
So, if you guys have any, what's your guys' home lab setups?
So I have a rack of servers. I got some super micro shit. I don't even know what, and it's running Proxmox.
Okay.
And I've got several VMs. I got my network split into a home network, a work network, and
little longer.
a lab network.
And then you don't want to overcook it. You just want to get
And then,
almost close to.
Yeah.
I've got the latest OpenBSD on there, running a little VPN server.
Because it's still gonna have to sit. with my rice and all
Buddies
that.
to access my
We're gonna have
lab.
to cook it again with the rice and everything. So
I've
I make chicken
got
fried rice before.
a monitoring system to do like knock and sock monitoring. That's running Ubuntu. And then I've got two 50-inch 4K TVs, one on top of the other.
Sorry, you said you have two of them?
Two of them, one on top of the other. The top
And they're
one's,
what
like, angled
resolution?
Down. 4K. Yeah, and then I have a little tiny mini PC running Windows 11 that I use for one of my jobs. And then I've got a rack to put like different laptops
like
on and a
salt.
KVM switch.
we'll put more in if we need to.
And
I've
got, like,
the
3
ink
different
of this whole thing.
laptops,
That's what I put.
different
when you give it milk.
distros of Linux that I use for different jobs. And then I've got a Ubiquiti Dream Machine Pro.
Oh,
My
yo.
UDM Pro for my router. And then I have their switch. I have a pretty expensive switch, and I'm pretty angry about it because it's a PoE switch, and my PoE died. And thankfully, I I dug through my closet and I found my power injectors because
Yeah.
my entire, Wi-Fi mesh in my house went down, and so now I have to use power injectors because the PoE is just not working. It doesn't function. I've got an expensive battery backup system. I don't know how many watts it is, but it runs all my shit for like 15 minutes if my power goes out.
Wow.
It's really the battery backup is to keep everything powered when the air conditioner goes on, because the air conditioner goes on and then I get like a brownout.
Oh,
And
it flickers for a moment.
It flicks off and on, the switch. So I got everything on like a battery backup system.
That's 30 years of tech, all rolled into one right there.
Yeah.
So, 5 years of tech for me. I don't got as much as you. Got like maybe 8 different laptops. So, a computer built like back when I was being cheap. The top of line, the cheapest I can make. Then
Right.
I have
That's the way to do it.
a nice low desktop I have right now. I just moved, so they broke my server. And then they lost my new computer I bought for me graduating. That was my gift to myself.
I hope your hard drive was encrypted.
There was nothing on it. It was brand new. It was
Oh,
a brand new
fuck.
outside the box, pre-built. I was just like, I don't want to build it. I just
Sucks.
want something to game with, to have some fun, because that's all I've been using my computer for is schoolwork basically and writing resumes. And I was like, well, let me buy a brand new computer that I can worry about later. I opened the box. It had shirts in there, and I was like, this is not what I bought. This is not what I... Don't worry. I'm putting claims in for everything. But I'm waiting for my wife to come home, and
You
then
got,
we're going to...
moving insurance.
Yes.
Oh, okay, dope.
So the military pay for what they destroyed, and what they don't pay for, USA will.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I have everything under claim I can do. I just need
It
to make
just takes
sure.
time and it's frustrating.
It is, and it's... I had to buy software again for this, we call it the server I have. And so that's got to be claimed, and I got to find a receipt for that, which I bought it secondhand, so there's no receipt. It's already, it's the license was to the device, not me buy it. It was already there.
Or like an OEM sticker kind of thing.
Yeah, so I got to find that and then get the quote from the person that I bought it from.
Well,
Give me a handwritten receipt.
DM me for some lost volume licenses, and we can license that shit. Just kidding, everybody. Just kidding.
Hey, that's
That was just a
illegal!
joke. That was just a joke.
see
I
what
don't
we
know
got.
anything
Let me
about
see.
that.
She's looking good.
I pay for
Should
all
be
of
able to
my
get pulled
software
off in
like
licensing.
3
So
more
should
minutes.
you. Piracy is bad.
Just dump it.
You sure? With all the butter?
Oh, is butter in there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Never mind.
I mean, butter is wonderful.
You know what? Forget the chicken fried rice. We're now making butter chicken with naan.
If you know how to make naan,
We got a tandoori oven out back behind the lathe.
Oh,
all right,
man.
guys, I'm never leaving here now. They got all the tech stuff and other random things I would like to play with, and now a tandoori oven.
It's a
You
cool
got me.
spot. I love 23.
All right.
All right, so we got zucchini, carrots, and
Hello.
and then it should be green onions and 2.
Yes.
Don't stir
That's
too
gonna take
hard
a-
or the oven will turn off.
No.
I don't know. He was taking a shower in the bathroom.
Whoa.
It's a public space.
Whoa. What did you just put in here?
It was
Seasoning.
green onions. I was in a bowl.
That looked like powder.
Hey,
I wish I had MSG.
free drugs.
I wish I had MSG.
Oh, dude, I saw that on the recipe and I was like, where do I even get MSG from?
If,
I
You
was
got, like
just,
the Vietnamese market, you can get
you
it.
can get that from the Asian markets.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's that and like I've
H
seen
Mart.
videos where people just put MSG in everything and it's just like this
Probably
tastes bland
order it
and then
from
it's just
Alibaba.
like pow and they're like, oh my god, this tastes amazing now, and I'm just like I wouldn't want to have MSG.
It's good.
Be sitting there at every place. It's just like
I usually cook with like sea salt.
Sea salt,
fancy,
yeah.
Or like Himalayan
oh,
salt.
the pink Himalayan salt, yes.
Himalayan salt.
I just take one of those Himalayan salt lamps that I get from like a thrift store, and I just knock a piece off, crush it up. Just kidding. Just kidding. Don't do that. Don't do that. You could be poisoned. Like heavy metals and shit.
Mm.
I
Heavy
think-
metal.
I don't know. Maybe it's a cheap way of getting seasoning. Getting salt.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. We're live, sir. I can't move my car. It's too loud. That
I
and it
think
looks.
that's somebody stealing pallets. Recycle, reduce, reuse. That's good. Steal those pallets.
No, that's not recycling. That's upcycling. No.
Upcycle. Oh yeah.
So right now we're cooking the harder vegetables. It should take a lot longer than everything else. It has more moisture in it, so it's going to be making it soft. What I cut them all into nice bite-sized pieces so they have at least some kind of consistency, easier to cook through. It's not ripping hot as it, most, like big ovens,
Right.
stove tops would
Whoa! This little guy does the job, right?
Hey, it is working and it's doing its job.
It's
I'm
not
just
about
saying-
the size; it's about the flow of the gas.
I also like the safety thing. Like if you bump it too hard, it turns off because like I could see like that thing really causing a crazy fire otherwise.
I don't know.
Well, if you're in the woods, it's going to knock over and it won't
I'm in
burn.
the woods a lot.
Look at
Okay,
that.
now that's
Whoa.
how it's supposed to be. So for another thing you want to do for this, you want to spread it out. You'll make it even. So you want to put it out so it has more surface area to touch the sides of the wok.
Wow.
That's why a wok is the shape it is, because the fire will go around and the heat will dispense.
I'm gonna get one now.
I love
You don't
That's
have a
dope.
wok,
I don't have a wok.
bro.
I don't have a good wok.
I cook
have-
in like a stainless steel pan.
dude.
So
I literally will go on YouTube.
so if you look at here, you can see that I spread it out in a nice little bowl shape so you can touch the heat and it cooks a little better.
Oh yeah,
And so you kind of, bring it in
that's dope.
and then you want to kind of go like back in, get everything rotate a little
Dig it,
bit,
man.
and then you push it out again. And then that's how you keep everything nice and heated. Because if you saw, if I plug it up, you can see the heat rising around it.
Oh yeah, some serious butane. How's that taste?
Good as a table flavor.
Table seasoning.
yeah,
Next time we can use this tablecloth.
I'll literally go on like YouTube or like Facebook,
Yeah.
and I'll be like, that recipe looks dank, or like that looks really cool. I've got a smoker now. I've got a Blackstone flat top. Like I'll end up buying like everything that they have just to make like this one thing.
That's a little
That's
too
what I
big.
wanted to bring. I wanted to bring my flat top to make the fried rice on.
That's a little too big.
Oh, leave them in there to cook.
Well, it's gonna take too long,
Nah.
but I can still eat it.
Yeah, no, freaking. Yeah, my wok was like my first purchase when we had our apartment. That makes me really want to like make more stuff in the wok too.
Yeah.
You know what? It sounds really good in the wok now that I think about it. The Badu spicy noodles that I get in there with like,
Okay.
oh man, just stir frying it up.
Sounds legit. Wow.
And so you can see the steam coming off. That's the
Yes.
moisture coming out of the vegetables. And that is one of the biggest things that when you make fried rice, too much moisture get trapped in it. It does makes it soggy. And that's why we're cooking the vegetables on the side.
Oh, that's smart. So then in the end, you mix everything together. and
Well,
that's what-
because we don't have a big wok, we don't have the right kind of fire consistency.
Right.
We can make it, if we had a big enough wok, we can cook everything in one wok, it alone, and then we can put all the rest of the ingredients inside of it. But because we have a resources this, we got to make sure we get everything. That's why I cut everything up in small and bite, so everything kind of just went in, cook, put to the side, and put it all back in.
Wow.
Mind you, like the big woks.
I'm learning so much about cooking today.
The big woks are huge, dude.
So
I cook a lot, but I don't know any of these things. I've only
Trial and error.
Yeah.
Trial and error.
Yeah.
I living alone for a good while, and then being broke and making food for cheap.
Yeah.
For all the vegetables, that was
Yeah.
$6.
Yeah.
And I'm still gonna walk out with some carrots, some onion,
Legit.
and I'll make some when I get home.
I went to a farmer's market this weekend, and I got all kinds of good stuff for like a pittance. Especially those vegetables.
So just trial and error gets you there.
Yeah.
You learn from watching videos, researching, and then trying.
Yeah.
And mistakes. I made soggy fried rice the first time I ever made it. Why wasn't soggy? The vegetables were too crunchy, and the moisture from that made it there, and I'm adding everything too soon. I didn't let the rice, dehydrate basically. So I made the rice, dumped it in. Well, rice coming out of the rice cooker comes out wet and hot and everything like that. So everything like that didn't help. Now, for the cooked rice, you want to bring it out of the refrigerator, let it kind of get room temp, because the temperature difference between this and that will make a heat distribution. So think of it that way. If this is cold, it's gonna take a lot longer for that pan to heat back up to the same heat it was to warm this, get this up. Now, which is room temperature, it goes from room temperature to that heat. That's less, time wasted, more energy conversion happens. So there's a little science goes into cooking.
Yeah. I remember Yaxis was making parallels between like the hacker mentality and hacking and cooking. And there's so many parallels.
Well, okay. Trial and error get you there for
Mhm.
For hacking something.
Mhm.
You listen to someone, you find something, you learn it, and you figure it out, and you make it your own. And that's one of them aspects. Now, on top of that, prepping. You saw me. I took time and energy to make sure everything was set up before we even put it into the pan.
Right.
I had steps. I made sure he's scrambled my eggs. He's cooking now. He helped clean up. I made sure everything was bite sized. I had everything prepped. These are all steps we need to do.
You're making this sound like Mr. Robot, and like we're about to like hack.
Dude, we're about to hack ourselves an amazing meal.
I know.
So
I'm really hungry too.
So again, prep work is everything. So when you start going for let's say we're going to go into a penetration test. You have a company. Tell us more. What is the prep work you have to do?
Oh my God.
So because you have more knowledge about this than I would.
always-
I just have surface.
It always comes down to how much time you have to execute. Basically, I guess before you prep anything, you got to get your scope. You get your scope, and that's going to tell you
like 30 more seconds
what
on this
exactly you're allowed to test and what you're allowed to do.
So what is that called?
It's your scope.
one. Scope of work.
Scoping. And then you got to make sure that you have paperwork that gives you permission to do that. And that's kind of your get out of jail free card. Because you want to make sure that upper management's signing off on this and that there's a specific time as well that this work's going to be conducted.
During the scope of work, is that when you'd bring up if it's going to be like a white box, black box, or like I
Yes.
think the last one is a gray box?
Yes.
Test?
Yes. And then oftentimes you're probably going to do a black box from like outside,
Mhm.
and then you're going to do like a white box from
Inside the
inside, so you can
network.
be extra thorough. But it all depends on what you're doing, because you might be pen testing just so the company can increase their security posture.
So let's pause right there.
Mhm.
Let's tell us what white box and black box for people who don't know.
Oh, right.
So help us understand the terminology a little easier for us.
Good call. So
Thank you.
a white box pen test would be they tell you all about their
See if we
infrastructure
can smoosh your carrot a little
and
bit.
systems
Smush the carrot?
and
See if
system
it's smushy.
architecture. So you go in knowing how everything's put together,
Still a little firm. Okay, then.
what kind of
The
equipment they
zucchinis.
have, how
zucchini
everything's
will
set
be done.
up. And then a black box is basically you go in like an attacker, and you don't really know anything other than what you find through different recon exercises.
We'll take a second. We can put in. You dump it out and then convert the chicken.
Yeah, sorry, I see. Oh, my phone's off, I guess.
And I think another thing I was trying to talk about was, oftentimes you're doing a pen test as a part of a audit that adheres to a specific type of compliance.
So tell us the different kind of compliances. So for right now, what I know of and that I've been studying is SOC 2 and then high trust. So give us a little bit more other ones that I might not know about, or for give us definitions of those too, please.
Well, if you're looking at like a defense industrial production, you have CMMC, cybersecurity maturity model.
They're gonna all go together.
You've got
Right, it's
HIPAA
done. Or
for health data companies that do health insurers, healthcare. You've got PCI
But
compliance,
there's some
payment card industry standard
Put more
compliance,
okay, good. So,
SOX compliance, all kinds of financial compliances. And oftentimes you have to do a pen test or a red team engagement to make sure that a company is compliant, or you just do an audit, which is a little bit different, where you're just coming in and you're making sure that the company is following specific practices so that they can remain compliant and that their operational functions are adhering to and following through with their compliance requirements.
By the way, I'd like to say hello, Uncle Stinky. I see your comment from Seattle. And hello from the West Coast crew out here in California.
But yeah, those are some of the details of doing pen testing or red team engagements or auditing for smaller companies.
Mhm.
Something else I've done is I've done IR,
Incident response.
But when I've done IR, it was not internal. I was hired as a consultant to basically consult their IT teams how to respond appropriately to what happened and what they needed to do to investigate. Specifically, the only 3 IRs I've been on were ransomware. Usually involved during an investigation, find out
If you want, I can put some more butter.
what
on this
happened,
one,
what the
'cause I don't
cause
know if
was, and then restoring everything from backup.
Can you slice another slice of butter for us, please? Sorry to interrupt your
No.
sentence there.
Multitasking, we got to be able to do.
What? Multitasking? That's not an essential way of.
Yes,
Mine.
it is.
It's the only thing we're supposed to be able to do.
That's right.
Everything else you can find out and learn, but you got to be able to multitask.
Oh my God,
and then
absolutely.
there's 2 things: multitask, and then making sure you understand what's more important than another thing.
Oh yeah, prioritize.
Thank you. That's the word.
Yeah, prioritize. That's something that's hard for me, but it's really important when you're really busy. You have a bunch of tasks, or you're working for multiple companies. Is you got to prioritize.
So I work for an MSP, and shit, man. even not even with the MSP, but like my prior company and stuff, prioritization sucks because it's like obviously everyone comes up and they're just like, yo, like mine is urgent. Like I should be at the front of the line. Everyone's gonna say that. There's some people who are like, you know what, yeah, just take your time to do it when you can do it.
Well, you got a ticketing system,
but
and then they gotta tell you, what level the ticket is. It's an emergency.
Well, everyone puts priority 1 or urgent response and stuff, and so I really have to go through, and it's just like
my monitor's unplugged. Emergency.
I know.
Critical.
That like if it's like if it's impacting business or impacting like you doing your work, then it's gonna go bump up on the list. But if it's like
depending on who you are, and what
some
you do.
some of the stuff that I get in, it's like more of just like a convenience type ticket where it's like it would be more convenient for that to be doing X, Y, and Z, that or you want this feature enabled, but it's not on the top of my list. And so like yeah, I've been getting better with being more firm on like, hey, like you're not to sound harsh, not a top priority right now. There's other stuff going on, but I've been able to convey that in
I think that's easily
better words
internally with like a specific client, and yeah, the way you communicate that is really important.
So let me give you some good examples. So I worked in a manufacturing facility. Understanding actually what the company makes and how they make it and how they sell it is the most important thing for my job. Now, is a printer important? It counts. Is a printer that prints out the receipt so it can get sent out to another country? It is important because it can't sell the goods.
Business continuity.
So we got to understand what printer is important, whose job performance makes that printer. Now, if it's HR's printer and they're just printing out a few pages people need to sign, they can do it digitally. Now, a person that's shipping goods needs to have that printed and needs to be on that truck within 5 minutes
Or
after
it's going
printing.
to impact the bottom line.
And then that is
money's at
billions
stake.
of dollars outside the company.
Yeah.
And that is a significant standpoint. And that's understanding that not every printer is important, but this printer here is important. And that was what tied in for when I worked over at GE. I had to go to meetings to every bay and understand what they made and how they made it and how it impacted their...
Sorry, GE and like General Electric?
Yeah.
Dude, you got to work with the company that makes washers, but also too makes like one of the coolest fucking guns on the planet.
So I worked at GE Vernova in Florida. So they make Excel units, and Excel units are the parts that go for the turbine for the wind. So it's where the motor is. And so understanding that each assembly line made a different product and understanding where the crutch of the issue between a scanning gun not scanning the parts so they can't do a validation check, making sure that they have a accountability for any errors that may happen versus them not being able to touch an iPad to make sure they signed off on something. They have 10 iPads in that line. One goes down, it's perfectly fine. They have 3 scanners. One goes down, that's very significant. So understanding, so I'm at meetings to every one of those lines every morning. May not have to answer every question, but understanding what they did. Afterwards, I'd walk through and talk and, hey, what does this line do? How does it work? Where does my technology interact at this environment that I might need to understand? That was 2 years of working there.
So you got to know the inventory, you got to know who's using it, and then you got to know what kind of business impact, is going to occur if that equipment is down,
Yes.
so that you can prioritize your tickets and your requests.
And then that's me talking to people, being able to be visible and seen to the most lamest employee that doesn't know technology. Be like, hey, this is not working. Robert, come over here and fix this. And I'm like, oh, hey, Craig, hey, Phil, hey, Bill, I can't work on it now, but I have this. Look, low tech. I had a notepad in my back pocket, a pen in my shirt, wrote down a note, looked up, they had bean numbers that told me where they were. And I'm like, what is it? Took my work phone out, take a picture of it, documented it, and said, I'll take care of it in a minute. I can't do it right now. There's something more significant that hits your bottom line for you being paid. We'll take care of this. Because I talked to people and made sure I interacted with them, it was significant inflow, and it was very low impact.
And then you also have cooperation, because you're talking to people in a way where it's like, hey, your problem's important, but I got to prioritize another problem that's going to affect our bottom line. And it's going to affect your paycheck.
It's just water. It's like his last year.
If water touches me, I melt. I'm a witch.
If garlic hits me, I die.
I was gonna say, at least you're not a Mogwai. We can only have one of you. We can only have one of you. What we got? What's it look like? Because it should be less. It should be cooked and flow quicker.
Yeah, it's getting there.
But those are all things I had to learn, to interact. But I was a people person. 4 years of law enforcement, 10 years of physical security, being able to interact with people. Verbal judo is one of the most beneficial things I can say I have. Yeah. I can be able to disarm a situation in a calm, collective manner with words alone.
I'm gonna kick your goddamn ass. I will beat the shit. No,
that's not a de-escalation.
It is de-escalation.
That's a liability, buddy.
That's a WWF. Man, go ahead, Dwayne.
Come on, give me a hell yeah.
Hell I see a high level of risk with this employee right here.
But that communication skill, I've always had the gift of gab.
Yeah. Communication skills are really important, especially when you're doing ops and when you're doing support.
The gift of gab and a rabbit in a hat. And now that you speak those words, now I have to remember the song, and it's gonna kill me because
I wish I was a baller. I wish I was a little bit taller.
No,
the shot caller.
No, it wasn't that one.
Oh
man,
you guys are a rabbit in a hat.
No, it's not. It's I think it's an ASAP Rock song that I listen to, but it's the gift of gab and the rabbit in a hat. It's cool. Oh man, you guys
Can you tell me a little bit more butter? We're gonna do the garlic and the onions next, and that's the last thing, and then we're gonna mix everything together.
Amazing. I'm excited, and I'm hungry.
Well, I'm glad you brought your appetite. I had a snack beforehand because I knew it was gonna take us a while.
Oh, me too. I had like 10 snacks. I've been snacking all day.
Put a little butter in it first. It looks like it's hot enough.
Murder knife.
Let it melt first, and then we put the ginger, the garlic, and the onions.
All right.
And then we're gonna let that bloom. Bloom is more where it starts giving a nice perfume. You let the onions caramelize.
You call that a perfume? I call that BO.
Yeah.
Again,
well,
you want to
from the onions
and the garlic. Oh, the garlic.
So worth it.
So delicious. But
if you don't have BO, you're not a real hacker.
Remember, kids, 3, 2, 1. At least 3 hours of sleep, 2 meals a day, and 1 shower. You
per day.
All right. Where's
look? I went to anime conventions. B-side was my first tech convention.
Oh, cool. B-sides is awesome. You got to make it to DEF CON.
Well, I had to get gainfully employed to be able to financially.
Yeah, I hear that.
What do you mean?
I usually have an employer pay for it. It's expensive.
Well, I would love to have an employer pay for it, but
these conferences are super cheap, man.
What?
It's like chump change, bro.
Not DEF CON. DEF CON's expensive.
DEF CON's super cheap.
Uncle Pennybags over here.
No, you don't have to take off of work, get a hotel for the week, pay for the ticket, pay for the food.
What you can do is you can forge the badge in some cases. And I've gotten in several times just through, different kinds of fuckery. One year I had a lanyard over my neck and I held a box of donuts in front of the lanyard, and I was giving them out to people, and I just walked right in. And I walked around DEF CON for like a
Goddamn,
couple
these are
hours
blooming.
before I got kicked out.
Why do you think I made them as the last thing for you to actually cook? Cut off 2 pieces of butter, and then we're going to use that for the rice after we get that.
All right.
All right, for this recipe, we're gonna be using just a little bit of butter. So we're gonna start off with 2 sticks of butter.
What was her name again? The chef that Pauline, that she had all that butter and always in all her recipes that enough to clog arteries for all Chicago.
But it was the most delicious.
Look, I'm Southern, but God bless.
Butter.
Your
bacon
soul, sweetheart.
Look, sweet tea, real sweet tea.
My partner will say that they don't like to eat bacon, and then what I'll do is I'll be like cooking up hamburgers or something. I'll cook it in bacon grease. They're like,
So good. That's like
This is delicious.
fuck. Let me find out you're the one dude on TikTok that it's like his wife is a
I've
vegan.
never been on TikTok.
So there's this one guy. on TikTok.
I'm too old for that.
His wife is she's vegan or vegetarian, but what he'll do is he'll go and like sneak like a meat ingredient in there somehow, like also just like skillfully, and then she's like, "This is so good," and it's just like, "Yeah, I'm gonna
That's
cook
mean.
it." He was like, "I'm
That
gonna
is
cook
bad.
your Impossible Burger," and then it's just like, "Yeah," and so
There you go.
we're gonna prep it with freaking lard or something like that.
I was
And-
a crazy vegan for 6 years, and I remembered getting veggie burgers at this hamburger joint called Johnny Rockets. And
Oh,
they would
yeah.
cook one veggie burger on the meat grill, and it tasted so delicious. And I was cheating in that way because I would get my veggie
Cross-contamination.
burger. Yeah, I get it contaminated with that meat grease, and it was so bomb. Yeah,
I would say pour the rest of the
ingredients in there,
the
Oh.
the oil in there. One little thing of butter.
bro. There's not.
Oh, yeah,
oil
there's
that
Whatever's
plenty.
left over
There's
oil.
plenty of oil.
Can you open that up?
Yeah. I'll
Trust
do it.
me, the rest of that will.
There's plenty of oil.
The rice sauce.
That's fine. The rice vinegar.
Yeah,
That'll be for
I have the white vinegar. Yeah.
half. So next time I'm gonna bring a squirt bottle. If I wouldn't know this is gonna be the case of stuff.
Hey, this
Welcome
is
to
some
Ghetto.
MacGyver shit.
Welcome to Ghetto Cooking. We bring a dime bag of oil. A little a tenth of some white vinegar.
I was just dying because when I was
Is that
walking
salt or is it cocaine?
when I was walking into when I was walking into work today, I came in with the wok and stuff because I put it in the refrigerator at work, and they're like, "What do you have in your hands?" And I was like,
Good idea.
"I have a wok and I have everything to make chicken fried rice."
We're gonna make 2 batches because we have enough rice for and enough ingredients to make
Perfect.
2.
I always feel old because I talk about MacGyver and people like this over here, the youngins. They don't know who I'm talking about.
Bro, you don't even know how old I am.
You're
I know how old you are.
You're younger than me, so that's enough. Not my generation, but I know. Bubble gum, paperclip, and a rubber band,
Yeah.
and then make a fork truck. And that was like MacGyver was the other one. Mr. T was on it.
The 18.
The 18.
Yep.
That was the 2 that
I used to watch the 18.
so it was
rerun with my
18,
grandpa.
and then we caught MacGyver the 2 that would make just random junk,
Yeah,
and it makes something badass like that.
the 18 was awesome.
Bro, do you guys even know who Clippy is? What in the hell?
You mean from like the
Microsoft.
Microsoft paperclip?
Yeah, Microsoft.
Whoa. You guys are too young to be knowing that.
Oregon Trail.
Dude, I played Oregon Trail on Apple IIe on a monochrome green screen.
Or let's go for
Grizz
was
has
it
died of
was the math?
dysentery.
What was the math game that was to be?
Oh, the
Cool Math
the
Games?
rabbit one.
No, not internet. Not internet. This is where you had the floppy disk.
Yeah, I remember. It was like a little rabbit and stuff. I can't remember what it was called. I used to play that at my elementary school.
Let me say this right now. MS Paint.
Oh yeah,
I loved MS Paint.
me too.
I would sit
I
there
still
and
use it.
Hold on. Quick question for you guys, all right?
answer.
On MS Paint,
Can I have the spoon?
or
Another one?
on
No,
MS
great.
Paint, did you guys ever make your own custom wallpapers with it by doing the paint bucket and dropping it all one color and then using the slicer and drawing lines through
Of
it.
course.
Dude,
So what I would do is I would make little lines, and then I would make, I'm making my own shape. So I'd go spiral, then spiral out, and then I would just connect them, and then I would make little lines in it, and I would just drop paint in random areas and see what the image would come out in blue.
Damn, you were like an early like digital artist.
you're like an early COD player with the freaking
Look,
the name tags.
I remember when
I-
Windows 3.1 came out,
All right, let's get some of those
and
ingredients.
Okay.
I've used OS2 Warp.
About half of this. This is gonna be white vinegar.
Nice.
All right,
Oh yeah.
you can hear it sizzling. That's a good sound.
Wow.
It's incredible.
You need me to wash anything?
No. I'll take it. But
All right, now we're standing back up.
Yep.
Got to put some emphasis into this. Oh shit! I was trying to be all fancy, and
mhm.
really work the walk.
Try and make it sing.
See here,
And then
really working in that rice, guys. Oh, soy sauce.
yes, you forgot that.
Yes, where's this? Do we not have any?
I don't see it. That's what I was looking for earlier.
Oh man, I forgot about that.
Well, one of the most important ingredients.
Is there any in the fridge?
You know what?
There may be some.
You might be lucky.
We forgot soy sauce. Tragic.
Yeah, you did.
Is there any at the liquor store?
I bet there would be.
Go run to it. It's right here at the corner.
Look, I don't run. I've been out of the military too long to try to run. You're the wrong person to tell me to do that.
Yeah. All right, put some of those green onion leaves in here.
Mm-hmm. And that's the last thing we're going to add in, so you don't have to overcook it.
Oh, come on.
Well, I'm going to make two. Well, I thought you had it. All right, my thing's going with. You know what we forgot? Where's that? We had a little finger, a little baggie of it.
And
All right.
we are done.
Well, we're going to MacGyver it. Watch out.
Oh, is that teriyaki sauce?
So, when you want to put sauce in, you want to go to the sides. And then, because it's a little thick, you want to add a little water. And water doesn't hurt anything. All you got to do is make sure you stir it pretty good.
Yep.
I put about 2 tablespoons too much, but
I'm a master chef over here.
mhm.
Oh, shit. Can you check that chicken? Tell me how it tastes.
Table seasoning.
You want to put a little bit more of that teriyaki sauce? Just a tad.
Yeah.
Just for color, There we go. Thank you.
And that helps with the water too, to pull it apart.
Juice.
Sometimes you just got to MacGyver it.
All right. Instead of soy sauce for this recipe, we use teriyaki sauce.
You make do what you got in hand.
Actually, we used hoisin sauce,
Mhm.
which is delicious.
It is very good. If you want to actually make like a soy sauce with a little ginger, you can add some of this in there, and it helps make it like more thicker. and it gives it that nicer, sweeter flavor. Instead of soy sauce, we just kind of add a little water to help disperse it. But hey, you live and you learn.
Join the feed?
And there we go. The rice is finished. Let me walk it over to the camera.
Get it? Walk.
Go ahead,
Let me
show off your culinary.
Mine. It's all of ours put together. Let me just form it into one big fat ball so it looks all fancy. All right,
It's
come here, guys.
fancy,
We have to take a
fancy.
beautiful photo over here. Let me not burn you with the wok.
Go ahead.
Bam. Look at that, guys. Amazing. Here, come take a cute, squishy photo for the thumbnail, you know. Yes, and so this is the chicken fried rice for tonight.
We can MacGyvered it up.
Yes. Would you like to call out the ingredients again?
So again, we got zucchini, carrots, eggs,
rice.
rice, chicken, butter, shallots, onions, garlic, carrots, and then we used
Oh, the specified too for the vinegar. It's white vinegar
Yeah.
that I use.
white vinegar, oil, and then
Extra virgin olive oil.
how you say that again?
Hoisin sauce.
Pushing. Thank you. Again, we didn't have we got soy sauce, but again, it doesn't taste that bad. You want to get a plate so we can try it out?
Yes.
Oi. We need the plates if you don't mind. Sorry.
Plates?
Please and thank you. Would greatly appreciate your assistance.
We don't have any plates.
Man,
What is this? Is this the part where we get to eat?
Yes.
yes.
Come here, Ben son. Yeah. Put a little bit on there. There you go.
Are you hungry, Kamai?
Here, give him a plate. Here you go. Give him one of those. Go ahead and try it.
Try it, come on. No.
Don't call people out. Let them have fun.
I have no nails.
MacGyvered. I haven't tried it yet, so let me know.
Pass that off.
Nice.
Get one more plate. That, and we still have a second batch that we're gonna make.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Wow.
Let me actually just out. There we go. Let me
All
turn this off.
Go ahead. I was going to cook rest while you guys eat.
No. Now we gotta eat the plate and enjoy the food. Sit back down real quick.
Go ahead. We're going in a minute.
All right, let's try this out, guys. This tastes like literal shit. Just kidding. It's really good.
Safety.
Mm-hmm. That came out really good. You're able to taste like all the different flavor profiles that are in the rice.
Can you give me a spoon? I threw it over there. In.
Wow. Pretty good.
Let's see how the outside rice tastes.
This is very fulfilling.
You really need soy sauce.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
There's some soy sauces would be fire.
No.
When I go to the liquor store and get soy sauce.
Mm.
Oh, yes.
Sriracha.
There's sriracha.
So zucchini, he added zucchini in, and it gives a nice little sweet, crispy add on to it, which I would never thought about. I'll be very honest.
There we go.
I think the chicken's cooked well enough. But I agree. Soy sauce is the.
You want some sriracha?
It's all there. Except the soy sauce.
We got hoisin.
Yeah.
Maybe some fish sauce.
Yeah, hoisin.
Fish sauce banging.
Then, like, for the soy sauce and stuff, it's not really a specified amount. It's to taste. So it's just whatever you find that you like the most. Some people like more. Some people like less.
But it's better to add a little then add a little bit more afterwards. Taste to taste. Taste it to get that sample where you want it, because you can't subtract it, but you can always add.
They can always be added to.
Actually, a new comment that just came. Damn, I'm able to taste the fucking vinegar and ginger in there.
It's wild.
So the ginger was added last. So it wouldn't be, overpowering, but not like, just
Hey,
removed.
Remnant, how's it going? Remnant says hi, Ben. Looks yummy. It is very yummy. We made a chicken fried rice.
Kamai came through.
Damn, for cooking this in a metal-covered, dust-infested shop with minimal resources, it's pretty damn good.
Amazing.
Prep work. Look, everything I brought, I made sure.
Perfect.
Well, what do you think, guys? Should we wrap it up?
I'm okay with that.
Well,
I
thank
didn't eat
you
more.
for tuning in to the first episode. Or actually, let me move this camera a little bit.
Yeah, thanks everybody. It was a lot of fun.
Let's stand up because he's taller than us, so he can be in the camera when we're.
There we go. All right. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in to the first live stream of Unicorn Chef for the West Coast version. And thank you, Ben and Robert, for coming out and cooking this gracious meal with me.
My pleasure.
And again, if you guys would like to show support to the stream, don't do it to us directly. If you have the means, go ahead and check out the Diana Initiative and shoot some donations their way if you can. If you can't, it's still 100% a good resource to check out. If that applies to you, that or at the bare minimum, getting informed about other organizations that are out there. And as for me, I'm your host, Itz.Ghriz.
Robert,
Ben.
And thank you for tuning in to Unicorn Chef.
c'est la vie.
Add this. It completely fixes
Oh, I love that.
it. Completely fixes it.
Olek Sambo.
Oh, Sambu.